This is some breaking news.
We've been talking about it for 48 hours. The unbelievable has happened. The Green Bay Packers have done it. The Dallas Cowboys, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, have traded all-pro defensive end and linebacker, three-time all-pro defensive end and linebacker, Micah Parsons, to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers and Micah Parsons have agreed to a 4-year, $188 million contract extension, which puts Micah Parsons in green and gold through 2028. Micah Parsons, I can't believe I'm about to say these words. Wow. Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. We do not have the full details on trade compensation, what the Packers have sent to the Cowboys just yet. We'll work on getting that for you. But it is an absolute honor and a thrill as a Green Bay Packers fan to announce Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Kyle Wallace, we start with you.
My job is to work in radio and to have something to say, but I am I can't believe it, because this is something, again, we haven't seen as Green Bay Packers fans. And this is big. This is a big message that is sent, and I'm glad Goody did this, because we have been clamoring for the Green Bay Packers to finally make a big move, but never did I truly believe when this offseason started that by the time that we kick off in Green Bay against the Detroit Lions that we would have one of the best defensive players in the NFL. This is a monumental move for Green Bay, and this is the day of August 28th, 2025 that Packers fans will talk about forever, where the Green Bay Packers finally went all in. We have our quarterback. Now we have our quarterback of the defense in Micah Parsons to be a difference maker. This is huge news, Packers Nation. This is huge news, KBN. This is unbelievable as the Packers have made it happen. Goody, you just got yourself a lot more time as a Green Bay Packer GM. This is crazy.
Brad Nortman.
Guys, the Packers Super Bowl window, we've talked about good team knocking on the door. Brian Gutekunst put his foot through the door, knocked it open, put the entire league on notice with this trade. I will say it here, I will never again criticize Brian Gutekunst for not being someone that doesn't go all in, that isn't willing to take the big shot, that's only willing to stay in his comfort zone. There is nothing comfortable about a trade like this. I'm sure the compensation was nothing short of a king's ransom, but that is exactly who we got in Micah Parsons, a king of the defensive line, Reggie White of the 90s, Charles Woodson of the 2000s, Micah Parsons of the 2020s. That is what Packer fans have in store for them. All that's remaining, that stands in the way of this team being a true Super Bowl appearance and championship, is Jordan Love taking the next step to elite. If and when Jordan Love does that and he becomes a top 5 quarterback, you've got your defensive superstar. You've got plenty of defensive superstars with now Micah Parsons, Edgerrin Cooper, Xavier McKinney. When Jordan Love takes that next step, this team will find itself in the Super Bowl, and we will point back to this date as being a marquee moment, as when Goody put his flag in the ground and said, the drought needs to be over. We are going to trade for Micah Parsons. Seismic and franchise-shifting moment for the Green Bay Packers.
This is the defining moment of Brian Gutekunst as the general manager of the Green Bay Packers. I think a lot of us point back to draft day in 2020 when he drafted that quarterback out of Utah State in Jordan Love to be the heir apparent to a 4-time MVP in Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I think we viewed that as the move that would define Brian Gutekunst's tenure in Green Bay as the general manager. That is no longer the case. This is as big of a deal as a general manager in professional sports can make. He just brought in a complete field tilter, a complete game changer, a guy that can completely change everything about a defense. And for us to spend all offseason reflecting on last season and saying the Packers do not have a field tilter, they do not have a game changer on that defense, that is no longer the case. The Packers not only have a field tilter and a game changer, they have one of the best defensive players in the National Football League on their defensive line. And he, by the way, is only 26 years old. He, by the way, is one of 26 players in NFL history to be a 4-time Pro Bowler in his first 4 seasons, and he is the first player in NFL history to be a 4-time Pro Bowler in his first 4 seasons and play for a different team in the 5th season. What Brian Gutekunst just did was grab every poker chip that he could find in 1265 Lombardi Avenue. He then went across the street to the gas station, bought more poker chips, and he shoved every single one in the middle of the table and said, like he did in January, after the Packers were eliminated by the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs, it's about time this team starts competing for championships. And this is his move. His number one move as the general manager of this team that reflects what he said back in January. It's time this team starts competing for championships. You just acquired one of, if not the best defensive player and game wrecker on defense in the National Football League. Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer.
I mean, when you look at it, the fact he's the only player in NFL history to record 12 sacks or more in his first 4 seasons. But this is the big move for me. This is the difference when you got somebody who's actually motivated to win a championship. And this is no knock on Mark Murphy, but Mark Murphy was thinking about building the organization on the field and off the field because that is his responsibility. But Ed Policy wants one thing too. He wants to win a title, and I promise you, I guarantee you, Ed Policy had a conversation with Goody and said, if we have a chance to go get this guy, you go get this guy.